we are back. We are going over our YouTube videos that we have posted in the last couple of months and responding to all of the comments. We appreciate your patience, everyone. Once again, my name is Zach. I am joined by my co-host,
Billy Williams.
Billy Williams, here answering all your diesel questions. Today, we are going to be responding to all of the questions from our Diagnosing a Bad Injector 6.0 liter Power Stroke Edition. That video. So if you've been following along, you already know that we've answered the questions from Fritz S and ASDF. We hope that information we gave you in the last video was helpful. Moving right along, we have a question from Daryl Pelvit. He asked, what the hell does he mean at 608-ish by pick a cylinder that's easy to get to because you're going to have to spend extra time with it? Wouldn't you be cleaning a cylinder that the engine picked to die? I mean, a guy doesn't usually have a say over it. I just fix whatever it decides to shell out. Just saying. And then ASDF stepped up to the plate for us. He said he may mean to start with an easy one if you're doing them all. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, let me, first off, Daryl, thank you for the comment. And I will try to answer it. When you remove an injector from that system, from the 6.0 liter, the fuel and oil, or the fuel rather, in this instance, is going to get down in the cylinder. And it's a lot easier to try to clean that cylinder out than the one underneath the turbo. So my comment was pick a cylinder that's easy to get to because you're going to have to vacate whatever goes down in that cylinder. Now, Daryl, you seem like a nice guy. You can pick whichever one you want. We're just trying to help, those out here that want to take as easy a path as possible. But you've got to get whatever goes down in the cylinders, you've got to get it out before you try to turn it over, or you will damage your engine potentially. So that was what we were saying at the 608 mark. Hopefully that answers your question, and if not, hey, send us another reply. We will answer it in the next 6 or 8 months.
Yep. Let us know, Daryl. We will be happy to respond to whatever questions you have for follow-up. Next up, we have Filthy Phil.
Are you serious?
Yeah, read his name. I mean, it's spelled with a PH, so I think we might be dealing with a doctor.
Oh, I love our community. I just have to say.
They really are a bunch of really cool guys.
They really are.
He writes, when you say manifold ports, you mean exhaust manifold? Now, it's been a while since we've watched this video, Phil.
No, I'm debating the possible responses to ports to Filthy Phil. That being said, let's, yes, I do mean the exhaust ports.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're talking about measuring the temperature. And that I meant that at the exhaust ports. Thanks for the question, so we can clarify that. And Filthy Phil, thank you. I hope that was helpful. And
please write in again, Phil. We just so we can read that name more.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Next up, and you'll have to forgive me, I am not up on my Russian. So we're just going to call this next user C. He says, tell me, and that's very forceful to start off the comment. Sure. Tell me, the voltage on the module is 48.5 on an idle engine and the injectors are not tested. I'm not sure that it's a question. He seems to just be stating.
I think I know the question. The voltage on the module, and I'm assuming you're talking about the FICM, because that's one of the few areas where you would have 48 volts. And if you're reading 48 volts, then that typically means that your FICM is properly performing. Now, that's not to say that you can't have a FICM issue and still read that voltage, but that in and unto itself is not a means to say, well, the FICM is bad. And you say that the injectors are not tested. There's not really a complaint here, so I'm not sure if you're just wanting to verify the voltage. If you are correct. It's 48 volts with a standard FICM. If your question is anything other than that, I'm not sure that I know what your question is.
You'll need to clarify that
But
for
see,
us.
I appreciate that, and I really appreciate the fact that you start off with "tell me." That's a new one.
That sets the tone.
I like it when someone says "hi" with an exclamation point.
No, he's beyond pleasantries.
But and because it's not necessary to say hi when I click it and look at it, I'm acknowledging that you're asking a question.
Yeah.
But I do think it's very polite. Conversely, when someone starts the email with "tell me," I'm not sure what to expect.
I think you know exactly what to expect. You can't waste time with C. He's about information. He needs answers.
Yeah, so I will say yes, 48 volts. Other than that, hit us back up and we'll try to answer your question.
We'll tell you whatever you need to know. Next up, we have Todd Miles. He writes in, when I am at certain speeds between 30 to 40 or 70 to 80 miles per hour, my truck acts like it is choking or an old steam engine puffing with black smoke exiting the tailpipe. It does not do this all the time, but it has been gradually getting worse. There are only 148,000 miles on the truck. I have changed the fuel filters a couple of times now, too, just frustrated about finding a solution. And again, we have such a great community. It looks like several people stepped up and asked, did you ever figure it out? Mine has similar problems. Sounds like you have a FICM starting to have issues, and it looks like Todd was able to solve it. It looks like he found out it was the FICM. So does that check out?
It can, and let me. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the previous comment about FICMs. The fuel injection control module, or FICM, that is what is driving the injectors, and so I would have. That would have been something I would have recommended. I would have also recommended looking at the turbocharger, make sure you're getting a good boost. Also, Todd, kind of a side note, I don't know where you live, but 70 to 80 miles an hour, you might want to back it down just a tad.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I think the FICM is always kind of suspect when you're having performance issues. And again, referring back to the previous person, just looking at the voltage is not always enough. I'd been curious to see what Todd's voltage output was, but you can't necessarily just look at it and say, well, it's putting out 48 volts, it's good. And I will say, for all you mechanics out there, if you're looking for something that doesn't always set a code and doesn't always, the FICMs are it. I can't tell you the number of trucks that we've had come into our shop and it will not have a code package, but it has a performance issue and something. And we literally sometimes would just plug another FICM in and just as a troubleshooting, and it'd correct the problem. So that sometimes it's hard to track down, and I do appreciate a couple of people that commented here. Again, we're kind of a small community, so it's nice when we can all get along and work through our problems. I'm glad it worked out there for you, Todd. Hopefully your truck will continue to go and you won't get stopped by the police.
Yeah. Be careful out there, Todd. On that note of what a great community we have, T-Wiz writes in. He says, awesome video. They're really creative with those names.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Awesome video. No BS. Bottom line topics overviewed very well with links provided for more detail. I'm really surprised this hasn't been viewed way more. Thanks for the great video. Well, Wiz, if you want it to be viewed more, then you should share it. You should share this video and tell all your friends about it and get them to watch it. Make them watch it.
Yeah. Filthy and Wiz in the same session. That's pretty interesting. But all comedy aside, Mr. Wiz, thank you for the comments. I do appreciate them, and we do appreciate the amount of views that we have. At the end of the day, we want to try to be helpful. We want to try to answer your questions. I'm going to admit when we want to maybe entertain you a little bit, and hopefully make some money along the way. So, but thank you for the kind comments. We appreciate them. And like the producer says, hey, share it with your friends, invite people.
Absolutely. And if you have questions that you want answered about your vehicle, whether it's a tractor, automotive, or industrial diesel, let us know. Either reach out to us and set up a call. We love to do tech calls with our customers, or just people who need advice for their diesel. Or if you don't have the time or feel like talking on the phone, you can always leave us a comment and we will answer it. Just be prepared for it to take a little bit longer. So thank you, everyone. We will see you next time, and we're out.
Goodbye.
Yes, I'm built out and bound to go. I'm gonna leave here running, because walking is most too slow.
All right, back to one.